Hey, what's up guys, I'm Alex, and today here's a few quick tips on how to increase your backhand accuracy. So you may ask, why is it important to increase your accuracy on backhand throws? Well, first of all, accuracy is something that it takes time to build, which requires muscle memory, but it's important because you want to hit your lines. Hitting your lines, throwing the disc exactly where you wanted to throw it is very important disc golf. Not only it shaves strokes, but it minimizes those mistakes you can make later on. In this video, I'm going to go over some tips, fundamentals you can do, some drills, and some demo shots. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so first I'm going to go over the backhand throw itself. It's going to be pretty brief. I've made videos on this in the past. You want to check those out. Link will be in the description. First up, we're going to start with the X step, which requires your feet. So the X step is pretty simple to do. All you got to do is get your plant foot. Well, actually, you need to have your shoulders aligned, which is another part of the backhand. But you need to be aligned with your target, have a pretty good stance. But first, the X step anyway, you want to take your front foot forward, move your back foot out back, and then move your front foot again, like this. And this is where you're actually driving into the disc, which all your power is coming from, is when you're pulling through the core. Right as you do that, your back foot's going to swing like that. So the X step is very important to have because that's what allows you to engage your whole body at the same time, which allows for not only power but accuracy. Showcase a demo for you guys. One way you can actually practice the engaging your power anyway, is to actually have a small towel, because that way you can actually hear the snap as you're pulling through. So here you go. Did you hear the snap? That snap indicates that you're actually engaging your body. What's good about using a small towel is that when using a disc, practicing that, you can often actually let go of the disc on accident, and you don't want to do that in the house. Talking from past experience. One more cool thing about using a small towel is that you can actually chase people with it, like for instance your brother or a dog even. You can just run up there and go. Just smack them right there on spot. But once you get your X step figured out, now it's the time to work on your shoulder alignment and your hip alignment. What I mean is that you want to be lined up with your target. Let's say I'm aiming for like the middle tree up in the far woods over there. I don't know if you can tell what tree I'm pointing at, but let's say I want to aim from there. What I like to do is I actually like to have an open stance. So I like to start from the right side of the tee pad and actually go down the middle. And I like to have my front foot out this way instead of like this, because if I'm actually planting like this, I'm actually going to pull over there to the field. But when I have my front foot out wider like this, I actually have more room, more open space to throw at my target. Okay, one more thing is grip. I actually grip the disc like this. This is how I grip it. Some people will actually have their fingers out more on the plate, but I always stick with the power grip, even on putters like a 2-speed. That's because that's just what I've always thrown. Grip for me, it's always a preference, because you can make any grip work as long as you're actually holding the disc. Is I actually keep my thumb out a little bit wider on the plate. This actually applies to all discs because this is what's comfortable for me. Again, it's preference, but I don't like being too out this way because that actually allows it to be way more nose up. And if I put my thumb out in the inside of the disc, I feel like I'm starting to lose control. But really, I just like to keep the thumb like kind of just middle, but somewhat wider, because I actually have a good grip on it. I can feel like I can just pull through and not release it, and it's got a nice grip. Now, once you figure all of that out, it's time to start throwing disc. One key tip I recommend is actually throwing slower disc at slower speeds. That way you can actually hit your timing right, because timing is very key into engaging everything at once at the right time. When you try to throw as hard as you can, it can be very difficult to actually hit everything at once, because once you're going too fast, then that's when accuracy starts to go down. I'm gonna throw us a little bit of hyzer, try to allow it to flip with the flat out just straight in front of me to the woods, and yeah, see how it flies. So on that first demo shot, I threw a really nice flat. I didn't get it to fully hyzer flip, but as you can tell, I missed by very little because I hit exactly what I was aiming for. It went straight and then a hyzer. So now I'm gonna throw this one, which is actually a bit more stable. So I'm gonna try to throw it relatively flat and aim for the same exact spot. Yeah, see how it flies. I also have a tailwind too, so that kind of makes a difference. Oh, that one's more stable, but I hit exactly what I was aiming for. And yeah, it was great. So you might be curious why I'm only using half the T-pad. That's because I'm trying to focus on hitting my line perfectly. That way, I feel like if I'm using the whole T-pad just to go a certain amount of distance, I feel like it takes away getting the accuracy that I'm looking for. Some examples on Pro Tour that throws like this is Johnny McRae and Corey Ellis. You can tell they're both great throwers, but you notice how they're not using the whole entire T-pad, but instead they're actually shorting it up. So not only they can get that distance, but they can get that extra control too, and then just line up and just throw it. I have a few straight mid-ranges I want to throw. These are the West Side Disc Warships, all relatively straight. Some can turn, some can hyzer. But I'm going to throw these the same exact way. Try to throw them as close to flat as possible out there in the middle center of those trees, and yeah, see how they fly. So that shot right there, I left it a little bit left. I can feel it just come out a little bit earlier than what I wanted, but I didn't miss by much. I still, well, I put a little bit of hyzer on it, but you can tell I was still fairly close to what I was aiming for. A little bit of a cross breeze coming over here, but still good. Since I do have a right to left, I'm actually going to put a little bit of hyzer on this one, throw it a little bit wider, so I can let it carry with the wind and hopefully finish left. So yeah. That's perfect. You might have noticed my alignment was a little bit different. That's because since throwing hyzers, I kind of like to throw more from a right to left than left to right, because I can really just dive into the core and just explode and throw it hyzer. Plus I'm throwing it right anyway, so you can kind of get away with having your feet lined up, throwing it right. Hopefully I got my point out to you. One more thing I do want to add is that it takes a lot of time and patience to build accuracy. Yes, I know you did not want to hear that, but it does take time to build accuracy. One thing that you can do is to build repetition, have multiple discs, fairly same speed, fairly same stability, and just work on a certain shot. That way you can be more accurate over time. You can do this by doing field work or even throwing it to a net if you have one. It's important to dial it down so you can become more accurate, focusing on and getting that release point, which actually I'll probably go over on a new video soon, is the release point. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully this video helped you in any way. Stay tuned for more videos out each Thursday. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. We're getting close to 1,000 subscribers, so if we can get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, that'd be amazing. Click the bell if you're new to the channel so you get notified for all videos I upload. Like the video and comments on what your thoughts are on this video. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.